especially when you overtake cyclists.
Yes, of course. That's a good segue. Callback actually. Nice.
Yes, so the Fehmarnbelt is really one of my favorite routes, and then nearby we also have the Terra Nova Speedway, which is not a road I skate often, but it's really cool. It's about, I think, 7 kilometers long.
Okay.
And you can go out and back, so 14 kilometers. It's shorter, and you can do a sprint there, and it's along to what is it called? In Germany, they still take coal out of the ground to burn in coal power plants, which is climate change. Maybe you shouldn't do that, but okay. But it's really impressive to see the environmental impact there. So there's a big, really large hole in the ground with machines there who take the coal out of the ground. It's very impressive to see. Surrounding this hole, there are a lot of coal power plants because they can directly just bring it to there and they can burn it. And this route that it goes basically next to this big hole in the ground, and it's what is nice about it is that it's 5 meters wide, the bicycle road. Wow! So you have a lot of freedom. It goes slightly up and down all the time,
like a bump track.
You change from 25 to 40 km/h to going uphill with 10 to 15 km/h. So it's quite exhausting to do that, but it's a lot of fun, especially when you go fast again.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing all those information. So, Lena, I know you are the best in the distance skating, but if you were to design a distance skating platform after the best distance skater, who would that be?
So for who I would
name a product like a platform or design a platform for a company or for a person? For a person. Say I'll give you an example wherein Leica makes cameras after the best photographer, right? Say someone say Henry Cartier-Bresson. So Leica made a camera for Henry Cartier-Bresson. So if you were to make a distance skating platform, who would that razor be?
That's a really difficult question, because it doesn't necessarily have to be the best skater in the world. What is really important when I'm prototyping is that I get feedback. Which what I can work with. That also the skater is really hard on equipment, so that it might break, so that I can really make the platform really durable. So that being said, I am of course super happy to have Marvin at my side, who is my team rider and who is testing all my prototypes. Marvin has been so hard on equipment. He managed to even bend a Don't Trip Delirium, which is something nobody ever expected. At least I never expected that. How? Because he's so strong. He has so much power.
Yes, I get that. So you designed a custom bracket for him. Yes.
Yeah, indeed. I had to design the bracket because there was a problem, and then I solved it, of course.
Awesome. So it is Marvin.
Marvin?
Yes.
Marvin, definitely. But I think there would be a lot more people, which is that's why this question is so difficult, because I don't know how good the feedback of other people is.
Yes. I understand. I don't want to put you in the tight spot anymore. That's all right.
Yeah.
We have a name. I'm happy. That's cool. So what is your what takes you to break the routine of distance skating and try something else, as in bicycling or foot biking? What do you feel like when you want a change?
So it's basically is cross training, which is really healthy to do. So don't only do one thing all the time. Do this one thing a little bit less, like as much as you want, of course, and do other sports in between, because then you also build up different muscles, and you don't get a strong muscular disbalance. So between skating, I also do some muscle training for my core, of course, which is really important because I am really not strong there. And, so I really had to do that, and it's being really helpful. I do cycling out of fun. I have a new bike since beginning this year, and I really love it. And why do I love it? You can basically see that I start modifying all kind of things. So I built a carbon fiber rack, front rack for my bike, and I built some other parts for it. And cycling is really good because you have always the same movement you're making, which is very constant, and you can think about, okay, how much RPM I am going to pedal, and how to make it more efficient on the long. And another nice thing about cycling is that it's quite easy to do in comparison to foot biking or skating, which is more exhausting, or running I do as well. So I see more of the environment around me, and I can watch more of nature, and then I take more pictures. So so that's really great to do next to skating, distance skating.
Awesome.
And foot biking is so much fun. I feel like a little child again, like on a small foot bike, but this time with a big 28-inch race bike wheels.
It's pretty big, actually. Yeah, that's awesome. I like foot biking, actually. That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
it's
please.
So cool. The nice thing about foot biking is that it's more aerodynamic than cycling. So when I go downhill, I can overtake cyclists again. So it's
cool.
Like, you can imagine me with my helmet, with the bulb, the horn on the helmet, and then going downhill on a foot bike.
That's my favorite thing, actually. Yeah. That was my next question, indeed. Your favorite helmet and your favorite bulb bugle horn on your helmet. Tell us about that.
So favorite helmet, I don't really have my favorite helmet. I just whenever I crash, I have to change my helmet to a new one in order that it works again and helps me when I crash again, which I hopefully don't, but it can happen, of course. For now, I have always been using Giro helmets because I know they fit to the shape of my head.
Okay.
So and now I come to a point that I don't have to go to a shop. I can just order it, and I know it will fit.
Cool.
But I don't think I would recommend Giro because I found out after buying my last helmet is that Giro is basically part of a company that also makes ammunitions and parts for weapons, which I don't want to support because I'm a very peaceful person. I don't want to support that.
That's amazing. So noble.
So I might be looking for another helmet whenever I have to change my helmet. If not, it's a waste of I don't have to do consumerism.
I
waste for the helmet.
Cool. Super cool.
So and then
bugle
if it
horn?
comes to the horn, which is really cool. Like I have one here.
Oh
I have a new one.
Oh cool! Can you play the rhythm for us? Your usual rhythm.
I hope it's you can hear it properly.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome.
Number one.
These horns are actually quite difficult. I tried out a lot of different horns. This rubber, for example, when it's cold outside, it can get hard. So I had another horn which I was trying out. It got hard, and I couldn't. I wanted to overtake a cyclist, and I couldn't use it anymore. Which is really annoying. So I have been trying out a lot of different horns, actually. And this one, in my opinion, is the best. So I ordered a big bunch of it. So if people want to have a horn, they can contact me. They will make the best sound. And in winter, they are still usable.
Awesome. So it's not part of MK Longboard's product lineups. It's from someone else, and you're offering it as a good thing to people who are doing distance.
Yeah. So basically, I can sell these. I just never made advertisement for it because my marketing is maybe not the best. And sometimes I have people who order a lot, and then I just throw in a horn. Because it's cool to have one.
Of course. So what GPS apps do you use, Lena? Or the GPS watch? What do you use?
Yeah. So I am really simple. I'm currently not wearing it because it's charging, but you can see the white line of my watch.
Yes. It also says you work out a lot.
Yeah, it could be. And I wear it actually all the time. So,
of course.
So I just use the old Garmin Forerunner 235. Like probably I have to replace it at some time. It's really old, but it's still doing a great job, and I can track with it, and my heart rate is monitored, and I can connect it to an additional heart rate monitor, which you can have like around here to have more exact measurements.
Yes.
And that's everything.
Cadence meter,
for
I guess?
me.
Is that a cadence meter or what?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it basically does everything it needs to do. I don't have high expectations from my watch. So you have, of course, additional watches that can show like, I don't know, the warmth, or that maybe can navigate, which is really practical.
Yes.
But I'm a very simple person.
Sure.
And I know I get lost anyways, like no matter what kind of navigation system I use. So
it's all about having fun.
Yeah. So
yeah, cool.
I use that. And then on my phone, like whenever I have to navigate, like want to do a new kind of route, I use Komoot on my phone, and that has been really practical. Like I'm quite happy with it because it also shows what kind of surfaces you're going to cycle or run or skate.
Yes.
And you can make, it is community based, so the community can also let you know when there's a good road. So I can click on it, I'm like, oh, that looks like a good road, maybe I'm going to skate there. Cool. So that's what I'm using for navigation.
Awesome. So how are you recovering from your COVID hit, and like after the concussion and all that? You're perfectly all right now? Are you good enough for another race, ultra skate?
The concussion is totally fine. I think I had to rest for 2 weeks, the doctor said, but after 1 week I was like, oh, it's fine, I can skate again. And then I got actually COVID, so I couldn't skate for long. I got COVID, and that's actually, it's still there. It really takes a long time for my body, unfortunately, to process the COVID infection.
Okay.
So I cannot really do really long endurance training anymore. It's so hard. Okay. It's also so hard for me afterwards for the next days. Like when I walk, I have to take breaks then, and it's just walking. So because it's so also while work I can feel it. Like sometimes I get really dizzy. I have to sit down and take a break. So it's unfortunate still there, and I hope it goes away as soon as possible.
We all wish good for you, Lena. Of course, it'll. Yeah, good, awesome. It's good to hear that you're coming out of it. Whatever the pace it might be, but you're coming out of it. That's amazing. That's a great news for us. That's awesome. Lena, what are all the races that MK Longboard sponsors?
I basically sponsor all the races where the organizations ask me to sponsor. When they ask me, then I'm like, yeah, probably yes, because it's cool what you're doing. So I try to be as supportive as possible for the community, because I think we have a really special community, and it needs support. Like everything I can do, but I can manage, I will do. So this year I've been supporting the Pusher Marathon, I've been supporting the Dutch Ultra Skate, I've been supporting the Misfits Marathon.
Awesome.
And also, it's not a race, but I've been supporting Skate for Kids, which is a skating group which tries to get money in benefit for child cancer, so that they can help out there.
That's
so
great.
I sponsored a board for them, and
super
like
cool.
whatever I can do, whatever is in my possibility, I will do, of course.
Awesome. Do you have any plans to include any community of women groups wherein like you want to sponsor them for the distance skating? Do you have any plans? Would you be open for that idea?
Totally, because we need more women who compete. Currently, there are not enough. We need more. Come here, please. I also to all the women. If you want to skate with me, it's no problem. I will help you out. Also, if you just want to have a good time, we go skate together. It's no problem.
That's awesome. It's a great attitude.
So.
Yeah.
What I sometimes see is that if it comes to podium places, that the men get a trophy and the women don't. There's the top 3 get a trophy, and mostly the women are not in the top 3 because of biological disadvantage that comes to muscles, etc. So I've been thinking about maybe that I then sponsor trophies, which would be really cool. So, because there's always something to celebrate, and it won't be fair that we do that.
Fair enough. That's an amazing thought. Yes.
Yeah, and maybe something else. We need something to really motivate more women into sports.
Cool.
Because this community, it's really welcome. It's welcome for all the people. We are all different kinds of people, but we communicate and we have a lot of fun together. So it's welcoming for all the women to also join and go to the competitions. There's no need to be ashamed or worried that you're not good enough. You are amazing. You
of course.
Can join
all the time. Yes. That's a great spirit to go with. So, Lena, when it comes to riding distance skating boards, if you have to choose a board which is not from MK Longboards, which one that would be?
That's also a super difficult question, because I built boards for a reason, because I was never really happy with the boards that were available on the market. So I have some priorities for my boards, and for other boards that I would choose. First, main priority is actually a durable board.
Okay.
Because the materials you use, for example, carbon fiber produces a lot of CO2 in its production. It needs a lot of energy to be produced. So if the board isn't durable, then it's thrown into the waste and the materials are gone. So I would love for it to be durable and maybe perform quite well. And the durable part is actually a really difficult part, because a lot of boards have difficulties with the D-lams or that the core break, especially when you use it with in combination with a torsion tail. Some boards use the wrong materials that cannot withstand the amount of flex they have. So after some time, these materials deteriorate and you have more flex and it will hang through more. That being said, I have been thinking about it, and it's so hard.
It's all right. It's all right. You have given me the qualities.
Maybe I would buy a board from a small company, just to try out and to see, and maybe I can help out a little bit it, like, okay, this and this can be changed, so
you want to customize.
Can make it a little bit better.
That's a great
like
thought.
This.
Yeah.
Or I would go for a non-LDP board, because then I don't have these high priorities. Like, because that's
so it's like you're ordering your meal on a particular fine restaurant. Saute this, saute that. A pinch of butter.
That's the problem. It's a problem when you do a lot on your own.
That's amazing thought, actually. I never thought I thought you would go by just a random name, but you were putting a lot of thought into it. Like, I want this, I want that. That's incredible skill to learn from. Like, you want to customize it. So. And when people are watching this interview, the third-party companies probably would think about it. Oh, okay, maybe we have to offer some customization. That's what customers are expecting from us, Incredible. That's nice. That's a learning for me as well. Awesome. Lena, throw some light about your skills with lathe machine. What do you build with it?
So I have... I think since 2 years, I have a lathe and a milling machine, which I bought used. They are like 20 years old or 30 years. I think they're even older than that. So I also had to repair them, and they're really heavy, and I had to find a place for them. And it's more about like learning a new skill, because I now learned a lot if it comes to with composite and making lightweight constructions and durable constructions, but working with aluminum or with steel or with brass, that's really something else. So I got totally obsessed with lathe machines and milling machines and how to work with that. So this is now like a little bit of a side project for me.
Awesome.
And I'm still learning.
Cool.
And I have I've done a lot of side projects now with, especially with the lathe. So I have narrowed some hangers.
Awesome.
So I think I have narrowed a 180 millimeter bear truck to like 125 millimeters, so I can use it for pumping. I have put some circles in places very precisely, so in trucks, so that it's not off, so it's really precise and it's in the middle. I have built Marvin's bracket for the Delirium, which he bent. I made a stronger version of it with aluminum, with the milling machine. It's really not the most beautiful bracket I made.
It's very
cheap. It's also a very cheap machine that I'm working with. And then it's super old, so it's difficult to get really good surface finishes with it. But it's more about the way it works, that the holes are in the right places and that it's precise, than that it looks good. And I made that. I also made for the Exile Insania, which is a rear bracket for the platform, which I really love the way it works. Like, David put a lot of thought into the Insania, because the nice thing about it, like all the parts where there is friction, it will essentially wear down over time. But all these parts where there is friction, you can exchange. So you don't have to buy a complete new bracket. You can only exchange the pivots and the spiracles.
Cool.
And the truck is just super new again, and just like on the first day, you're good to go again.
Awesome.
Since I personally really love to skate Torrentails, I don't use the Exile Insania that much.
Okay.
But I came up with the idea to make a base plate for the Insania.
Awesome.
Which I can attach to the drop square.
Awesome.
So that I have a 0 degree rear truck.
Awesome.
And I did that. I made that on my milling machine. Now my milling machine is broken. I have to repair it. that's along the side, but that's okay. It happens, and you learn about the machine well. So repairing it has given me a lot of insights. Also, how to manufacture better.
So
Material
knowledge.
I did that.
Yeah, of course. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of machines break over some time, and I have prepared a lot of machines in my workshop, and that's super cool.
Of course, that's how the metal scientists work. Do you have machines to remove the kingpin and sphericals as well, or like you do it manually?
No, I do it manually.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right.
You can do it. So you can use a burner, then a lot of force, like a hammer.
I get it.
But it's not ideal yet. But maybe one day. But I have to find more place before I have like a press to remove the kingpin.
Awesome. Just for our audience, like why I've been cherishing, and I've been talking more about Lena. You just heard about it. Like she is a talent, quite a talent. That's what I want to say. Okay. So, Lena, do you have any idea to build a foot stop and make it as a product in your MK longboards thing?
So I have been building footstops because I somewhat didn't want to spend 20 euros on footstop, so I built my own carbon fiber footstop, which was a cool side project. I did this with, some layers of carbon fiber in the right direction and then put on a vacuum. Essentially, it's a lot more work than spending 20 euros on a footstop.
Yes.
And I've been skating with it, but I'm not sure if I want to sell it because it's so much work that goes into a very simple piece.
Yes.
Which and this piece you can buy it, out of urethane and or 3D printed, a lot cheaper, and it's easier to manufacture, and it's almost as good as the carbon footstop.
I understand.
So I probably won't do that, but I have made it. Cool. Currently, what I am using is a footstop from State Line Skate Design. They are 3D printed, and the shape is really, really well. Awesome. So I have a lot of grip. I have tons of grip, and I'm super happy with this footstop. It's made out of, I think, a polyurethane, it's polyurethane 3D printed. So it's flexible, and it will bend to the shape of the board. So if you have concave, it will bend to it.
Thoughtful.
And yes, and it's durable, which is sometimes a little bit of a worry if it comes to 3D printing, that it might be too brittle, but it's durable, and I am really happy with it, and I can totally recommend those footstops.
Super cool. Can you name it once again for our audience?
State Line Skate Design.
Awesome. Thank you. I would like to know if the products of MK longboards does it, like it's a mandatory thing to use a footstop, or like you can ride your boards without footstop also. The Procyon, Ascension, like do you need a footstop for those?
So some boards have an integrated footstop, like the Drop, like the CLDP, like the ISS.
Yes.
So you can just put your foot against the fenders, or like there's a little mini fender, which is not a fender, of course, but you can put your foot against it and you're locked in.
Yes.
On the Procyon, on the Sputnik, you don't have that. So in my opinion, it makes sense to put a footstop on the board. Especially if you pump with a lot of force, you really need a footstop. Of course, there are people who don't use it because they feel like really safe without it. I don't. So it comes down to personal preference, but I would recommend using a footstop.
Okay, cool. Lena, which is your favorite time to ride? Morning, evening, or night?
Like evening when the sun goes down, that's so beautiful.
Awesome,
when there's enough light so that I can see the cobbles on the road, so that I don't fall over it. And then when the sun goes down, that's just so beautiful. So through the week after work, what I'm currently not doing due to the long COVID, but normally after work I have my evening skates, and then I can enjoy the sun going down, and that's so beautiful. Also in autumn, when you have fall, in autumn you have a warmer light in the evening as when it's in the summer. Okay. So what is really nice is when you skate the Venbahnweg, you skate it up over the day, and when you are almost down, you see the sun going down, and then the warm light falls through the leaves of the trees, and it's just it's so beautiful to see that.
I see a photographer coming out of you right now. Awesome. That's great time to skate, actually. Who wouldn't love that? Yes, of course. Later, what is happening with your cargo longboards? How did you come up with that idea? That's really creative in a way.
Yeah, I have no idea how my brain works. I just sometimes random things happen in my brain. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. So basically, I think 3 years or 2 years ago, I helped my brother move. So he moved from Munich to Bonn, and I had to carry a lot of boxes into the car, and I took the CLDP. I basically just put the boxes on there, and in the rear there was like enough place for one foot to stand, so I was pushing around these boxes, and I also did that with crates. And the CLDP is that can endure a lot of weight. It's a really strong board, so it was really practical to use it for that. And then at a certain point, I was like, can't we do this in a more practical way? Because I want to have more space for my feet, so that I not only have one foot that I can stand on the board, but with two behind each other. And then I came up with the concept of the cargo longboards, which was a process. So I thought, okay, we need a platform in front for the heavy weight.
Yes.
But we also have to make sure that when the weight is in front, the board will not fall over to the front because you have this heavy weight.
Yes.
So that's why I came up with 2 trucks in front for the heavy weight. One truck in the rear, which is like a bracket, a torsion tail, a delirium, or an insania.
Yes.
And I built this board for it, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's really working well, but we need something to attach the boxes or the crates to, because the front is angled at 10 degrees. And so that the weight can move against something, so it's more stable and I can attach it.
Cool.
So then I came up with the system, the L-shaped tubes, like like sometimes when you have to carry crates, you also have like, I don't know what it's called, it's a Sackkarre in German. Like you can carry like a lot of crates with it, and that's essentially this board.
Cool. It came as a great use for Dutch Ultra Skate, like you were helping out people, supplying bananas, water bottles, energy drinks.
I think I made the best out of the ultra skate as I could, because
of course,
like I trained so much for the ultra, and I really wanted to skate like the mount, and then I couldn't, and then I was like, oh, this is so sad, it's so frustrating.
You still did 75 kilometers in Dutch Ultra Skate 2022. I was counting.
I was also surprised. I didn't know, like I was just skating some laps and helping out people.
Crazy fast.
And with the cargo longboard, I had a lot of fun.
Super fun.
People also, I think, had a lot of fun seeing me doing that. It was also like a little bit of a motivation, and I could talk with some people, like maybe who were going through some hard times because it was so exhausting. They were doing, like, I could them motivate again, and like, bananas are always making people happy. So.
Cool. Will cargo longboards be part of product list in MK longboards?
Like if there is enough request for it, like maybe I will make a batch.
Yes.
but they are complicated. They are even more complicated to make than my normal longboards. So they take so much time, and they would be really, really expensive.
Yeah,
so,
you need to do some R&D and all that. Yeah. If you have demand, you will go for it. Yes.
Yeah, so indeed, like people can just write me if they really want one. Then I know it in my head, and I know that maybe I will make a cargo longboard batch sometime, or maybe not, depending on the people want it.
Cool. Probably you can fix your bugle horn in the handlebar itself.
Yes, indeed, I did that. That's so cool. The cargo longboard is really good because you can also attach a light to it. You can attach a real light to it.
Yes.
So sometimes
your GPS or speed counter, whatever.
Yeah, indeed, I can attach my phone to it. Like everything you can attach to a handlebar of a bicycle, you can attach to the cargo longboard, and that's so cool.
Of course.
Sometimes I skated to some friends in Germany with my cargo longboard.
Wow.
Where I knew that I would come back late in the evening, like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the night, and then this light is so practical to have. This rear light gives safety, and it's a lot of fun to just cargo longboard through the night.
Super cool. When we are talking about cargos, I want to segue into asking you, like, what would you carry in your backpack or your skate pack during your regular rides?
Water. That's
of course, yes.
The most important thing. I have a 3-liter bladder, and depending on how long I skate, I will make it completely full or take a little bit less. In my water bladder, I actually don't put normal water inside. I put sparkling water, which for some reason works out. It's a no-go.
I love sparkling
water. It works
water.
out for me.
Yeah.
Yes, me as well.
Super cool.
It's a special water. It's a Gerolsteiner, which comes from the Eifel, which is nearby. And this Gerolsteiner water naturally has a lot of magnesium and calcium inside. So I drink it through the day just by normal working, and I feel better with it. And also while skating, I do this because, you always need magnesium and calcium.
Oh, yes, of course.
So I drink this water. Then I mostly have like a bottle of ISO. I mixed my own ISO. You need salt, you need magnesium again, calcium, maybe kalium, sugar, and you mix that with water. And I drink that. And I also feel a difference when I don't drink that, because you get additional materials which you need, your body needs, and you feel stronger and your muscles feel less tired. Then food is important,
of course,
while skating.
Yes.
So every hour I eat about 300 calories.
Cool.
And
you calculate everything. Nice.
Yeah, I had, because sometimes, it's a trial and error. When it doesn't work, you're like, why does my stomach feel so bad?
Yes.
And then you figure it all out.
Nice.
So 300 calories, and then 60 to 90 gram of carbohydrates. It is. Which you have to train your stomach to digest that much. But it's essentially the energy you need while skating. So this means I eat Cliff Bars. I have Cliff Bars with me. I have something that... Bananas, of course. Bananas, always.
Cool.
I have... a local food, which is made by a local bakery, which makes every product themselves. It's called Mufti. It's really great for distance skating.
Cool.
And then, I'm still trying out, but I also took 100 grams of just cooked boiled rice with me.
Oh, nice.
Which is
nice.
80 to 90 grams of
sugar and carbohydrates. Yes.
Yeah. So super easy. You just eat some rice in between, and it's funny.
That's awesome.
So,
cool. Well thought out, Lena. That's awesome. I only take this actually. This is some salt tablet. Probably it's supplementing.
Electrolytes.
Yeah, this is all I take. Nothing much, and and water, because mine is like a warm up ride for you. Whatever I do is like just 8 miles and not more than that. That's probably a warm up ride. You are going 40 kilometers and beyond. So, anyways, thanks for the information.
As soon as you go further, as you go further, I can totally recommend like maybe something, try out like rice, because that's also a cheap product which you can eat, and like bananas, like all this stuff. Like you can try that out.
Cool. Thanks.
It's of course.
Very informative.
It's nothing. There's nothing worse than being hungry and knowing you still have to skate 40 kilometers back. So I always take some extra with me.
Cool. So your backpack weighs between 5 to 8 kgs?
I think about 5 kilos. It's probably like I take some more with me, like clothes, depending on the weather. When it's getting colder and you have to skate up, you need some warmer clothes, maybe some gloves, additional kingpin, T-tools, or a screwdriver. If it comes to the TTX, you need a screwdriver. Some additional bowls, maybe a light, a power bank, and a charging cable. That's basically everything.
Incredible.
And a rain jacket, depending on the weather. So everything you need to survive.
That's amazing, actually. Yeah. It's very it's thoughtful, and it's quite a learning experience for many. You know, like people who are going to just walk into distance skating, you know, they would learn a lot from you, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem, of course.
Like, tell us about your uphill experiences.
Uphill is nicer to skate than skating against the wind. That's my big experience, because skating against the wind is really hard and frustrating. But uphill, it's a challenge, but you know what you're facing. You see it going uphill, so for your brain, it's easier to cope with that than skating against the wind. So skating uphill is always a challenge, and it's a lot of fun to do that. Skating uphill mostly means that you have to push, because pumping is too exhausting going uphill. Of course, you can go uphill pumping, but I just wouldn't recommend it, depending on how you set up your board. Because I live in the hilly region of the Netherlands. Okay. So we actually have hills of 15% incline, which you cannot imagine.
Super crazy.
Netherlands. Yeah, these are hills. We don't have mountains, so it's not like what Adam is skating. That's simply insane what he's doing.
That's mountain actually.
Yeah, that's mountain. That's so crazy. So depending on where you skate, you set up your board differently. So when you go up a lot of hills, it means you also go down a lot of hills. So I have some harder bushings, a more stable setup, also
thoughtful,
like a setup with what I can pump downhill faster, because there's not a big chance I will pump any flatlands. And uphill is triple challenge. So we have the highest hill of the Netherlands nearby. It's 16 kilometers away. It's you go up, I think, 300 meters. Like it's not much, but it's a lot for the Netherlands. And you make the curves and you go up the mountain, and that's a challenge.
Awesome.
So cool.
You would follow the same diet for uphill as well?
Mostly, what goes up must come down. So I wouldn't eat while going uphill, and I would plan to eat before going uphill.
Cool. Thanks.
Because if not, it's too exhausting. You're like, you have to breathe, and then you have to eat, and that's too much. So maybe drink a bit in between, maybe drink some of the ISO or of the electrolytes. And then when you reach the top, you can eat.
Very thoughtful, actually. It's been quite a learning experience for me. Like I'm a fluffball. I'm not an athlete all my life. Okay, so it's like walking into distance skating just in a very recent past. It's a very learning experience for me. Thank you so much.
That's totally understandable.
Of course, thank you. What board of yours you would recommend for me? I'm a big size rider. I weigh more than 265 pounds and or in kgs like 120 or more. I'll be carrying a backpack with 5 or 6 kgs. So what kind of platform or board you would recommend from MK Longboards?
So in general, every board I built to the rider's weight. So every board is possible, but personally, I would really recommend the percent speed.
Okay.
Because the percent speed has a fiberglass, which is used to prevent the flex, and fiberglass is a super strong material.
Awesome.
So it is a durable board also for heavyweight riders, and it's super good. Also, you have an advantage with the percent speed compared to lighter riders because you can use the flex easier. It's like what people have been telling me, my customers, is that especially the heavier riders are really happy with the percent speed. So it's a total recommendation, and that's in combination with maybe a G-Bump TTA and in front a fork with a poppy or a beer net. That would be a great combination for you to skate.
Wheels?
Wheels. Yeah, that depends a little bit of where you're skating. Like if it's more rougher pavement, like maybe bigger wheels.
Yep, bigger wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So,
thank you. I'll definitely try to save more, and someday I'll become a customer of MK Longboards. Hopefully.
Take your time, just as much as you want. And if I can help you out also with just building projects, because that's easier. And it's matter to handle. No problem. I will help you out.
Thank you so much, Lena. Guess we have come to the end of our session here. So I'll give you the stage for you. If you have any message to tell or share to the distance skating community or to the women riders of distance skating community, you can go ahead and share that message.
What can I say to the women? We need more of you. Like, if you need any help, I can help you out.
Awesome.
We can skate together, and don't be afraid to join the competitions.
Awesome.
We are a so welcoming community to all the people around the world. So it's wonderful to have you there. And that's actually a message that counts for all the people. Like, you don't have to be a woman to compete, right? So everybody's welcome, and we will have a great time at the competitions. Because it's not as much about the competition, about competing against each other. It's more about like competing against yourself. Like maybe you can do better, and. We are very supportive against each other, so we will support you to become better.
Awesome.
Yes, that's probably a shout out to
Awesome.
And then maybe
please.
Because people have been recommending people to be interviewed, right?
Yes.
So
that was the next question. It's not compulsory.
That's really simple. I recommend you to be interviewed. We have to interview you back because, as you told in the beginning, like I know a little bit about the beginning of you doing LDP and getting into LDP, and it's more difficult to do that in India than in any other country. So,
thank you.
So it would be super interesting to hear your experience. And also your thoughts, and so I would totally be into to do an interview back.
Oh no, I'm having happy tears right now because I never expected appreciate this. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Of course.
I can't say anything more, anything else. Thank you so much, Lena. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time. Nandri, that's the way we say thank you here. And guess we have come to the end. I would like to continue and talk more, and I probably would save that for next time. Thank you for your valuable time.
I mean, you have a second chance to talk even more because we interview you back. So you can talk
anytime.
As much as you want.
You tell me a time and date, I'll be there for you. I can make.
Awesome.
You just let me know. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the kind interview.
All
the time you take with all the other LDP skaters out there.
Thank you.
It really gives us an overview because we are so around the world. Like, I really learn a lot about the other people. So it's really cool.
Thank you.
It's a cool format. So thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you so much. You're really caring, actually. You're a wonderful human being, Lena. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Greetings to your parents and family as well. Thank you.
I will send that to them.
Because they were very supportive. Thank you so much.
So I wish you a nice day, and let me know whatever you need.
Yeah. Have a great day. Enjoy your rest.
Bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye.